Hello and welcome. I figured this would be easier to just make a video and upload it to YouTube rather than trying to get everybody on the same Zoom call at once. It's about 5 days till we start the draft. I figured try this. If we can get a Zoom call going, cool. But I'm going to just talk through all the points that I would have on the Zoom call anyways. And hopefully this answers some questions and doesn't create more of them. My name is Evan. I'm the commissioner of the league. I'm going to run through just the roster construction, talk about how the scoring settings are laid out, talk about how the startup draft is going to run, and then talk about how the rookie draft is going to run. If you have any questions after this, post them in the sleeper chat, text them in the group chat, or call me, whatever. I've pretty much always got my phone on me. So I don't know Logan, Abe, or Cooper personally. I know you through Ben. Hopefully we can meet face to face one of these times. I know Abe lives up here in Park River too. We got to get B-dubs once Ben decides to stop studying for a test he could have passed 2 months ago. But yeah, so I'll get right into it. Hopefully keep the video short and sweet. So I'll just pull up the team page here quick. We have 30 roster spots on each team. So in total, the top 300 players are going to be rostered between all 10 of us. That means that waivers are going to be fairly thin, and your teams are going to be very deep. I've laid out a starting roster of 11 players. So going through it, we have 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 3 normal flexes, and then a super flex. The super flex is probably new to a lot of you. This is just a flex that you can also put a quarterback in. You can only do that here. So you could start up to 2 quarterbacks a week. In a super flex league like this, it is advisable to start 2 quarterbacks every week, just because we're going to have the top 20 quarterbacks probably drafted at least. All 30 should be rostered, honestly. But so everybody's going to have a fairly good shot at having 2 very playable guys. They just give you such a good floor compared to the volatility of your lower end wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, etc. Because I put more flexes in here to try to make a wide variety of team building possible. There's a bonus applied to the tight end that we'll talk about in a little bit. We'll just keep going through the rosters for now. So very deep bench here. We've got 5 IR spots just because COVID is still going to be a thing. There have been situations where players that are game time decisions like don't play because of COVID. That's why we have so many IR spots, so you can put those COVID people in there. This is Dynasty, so you're having the same players every year, barring trades of the rookie draft and free agency. So you'll probably have 3 or 4 players out of your 30 that go on IR at some point. And in order to not let that hamstring your team, you're competing, that's why we have so many IR spots. Another thing that's probably new to a lot of you is the taxi squad. The taxi squad is basically like the minor leagues in baseball or the practice squad in football. It's a way for you to own a player, but they can't enter your starting lineup while they're on the taxi squad. The only players who are eligible for the taxi squad are rookies or second-year players. Once they reach that 3rd year of service, they have to be promoted to your bench at least. You can promote them during the season, but you have to have an open bench spot. So you can't have like 24 players on your active roster. So you would have to drop whoever is your worst bench player to bring someone up from the taxi squad. Once you bring them up, you can't put him back down. So the only way you could get him back on the taxi squad would be if you pick up that player again, or if you pick up like a rookie in free agency. If you have a bench spot, you can put them onto your taxi, but you can't add someone directly to your taxi. It's a way that we just kind of keep things reasonably fair, because otherwise, it's not uncommon to have all these. You don't have to have them all filled. So you might just want to stash 1 or 2 players and have the rest of your roster be like your bench and your starters, that's fine. But we don't want people to hoard players. We want you to stash them, but not hoard them. So that's why you can't go directly from waivers to taxi. You can for trades, the sleeper won't let you, but our rules will. So like if you trade for someone who's on a taxi squad, I will manually force that player onto your taxi squad, or I'll change it so you can just drop them, pick them back up. It's like a sorting thing. It's really easy. It doesn't come up very often, but we've done it in another league. So try not to think about it. I kind of went on a tangent there. We'll go through scoring next. Settings. So here we go. And I've already changed some things. I'm going to make a poll just to see if you guys want some different scoring changes made, but I'll just highlight the non-standard things. So for passing stats, what's different than standard leagues is quarterbacks get a bump on passing touchdowns and are more heavily penalized for interceptions. This will help make it so that like the elite guys are elite and they feel elite. The thing about football is that you want those studs, those high round picks, top of their position. You want it to feel like they give you an advantage. And so this will help separate the top 10 guys fairly well from the bottom 20 guys at the quarterback position. So that will add more trade value to them in a way that is different than a traditional redraft league. Otherwise, there are bonuses for, different length of completions or touchdown passes. I think more points is fun, but I don't want to go adding things willy-nilly. So I'm going to have a vote on it. We have questions on it later. For running backs, rushing, wide receivers, it's all the same. 6 for a rushing touchdown, 1 point for every 10 yards, 2 for a 2-point conversion. Receiving, it's full PPR, so wide receivers and running backs get 1 point for every catch, 1 point for every 10 yards, 0.1 for every yard. Receiving touchdown 6, 2-point conversion is 2. There's different bonuses that we could have for different lengths of receptions. The only notable bonus here is for the tight ends to make them more valuable, feel more powerful. Each tight end gets an additional 0.75 points for every catch. So every catch is almost 2 points versus wide receivers and running backs that are only 1 point. Otherwise, the yardage, the touchdown, all that's the same. This will make it so that the top guys like the Kelsey, the Kittle, the Waller, the Andrews, they feel like they are really producing out of that tight end spot. And then it will elevate the lower tight ends who all kind of clump together from tight end like 8 to 20. It'll make them feel like they're on par with like your number 3, 4 wide receivers. So it'll make a lot of tight ends, I think, flex viable and allow you to be flexible with your team building and roster construction. Over here, we have options for different bonuses. We can do point bonuses for very high rushing, receiving, passing totals, a ton of completions, ton of carries, or even first downs. These can all be custom whole or decimal numbers. There's all kinds of different scoring stuff that we can do. I think more points are fun. I want those big plays to feel big and want Sundays to be exciting. So I think it could be fun to add bonuses for big plays and stuff. They're probably not going to tilt a weekly score. They'll just make it so that you get more notifications on your phone, which is always cool. I think you guys will really like the sleeper app during the season. It's a game changer for sure. So that's the scoring settings. From there, we'll go to the startup draft. So I'll just go into the draft room. So here we've got our order already set based on the lottery we did back in April. Pretty standard snake. The only difference that I'll highlight here is that after round 2, it flips so that I get the first pick of the third round, and then it snakes as normal. This is to equalize the positional value between the first three picks for everybody. It's because if you were to assign like a number value based on like how many points a player scores, the total for the first three picks for the people at the very start of the draft versus that number for the people at the end, it's very tilted. Like the first overall pick is a huge advantage. And so this attempts to normalize that advantage. So that's the reason that it's flipped. It's called a third round reversal. And otherwise it just snakes as normal. It doesn't completely level the field, but it does help some. Because I want everybody to have a fair shot at getting a juggernaut team right out of the startup draft. As far as drafting goes, this is a slow draft. So each pick has up to 12 hours to make that pick. Sleeper has a function where it will pause the draft between 2 time points. So like I can have it pause at 10 o'clock at night, and then no one else can draft. People could sleep. And then at 7 o'clock the next day, that timer picks up right where it left off. If you miss your pick, you go on auto pick. Aaron told me he had a nightmare the other day about he slept through 6 of his picks and it didn't get to auto pick him. So Aaron, don't worry, you will get your auto picks. Don't you worry, but it will time. So there is a timer. The reason it takes so long to make a pick is because you can trade picks in the startup. So Logan, you were saying you were pretty nervous about having the first overall pick, not knowing where to go. You can trade back from that pick. So you could craft any trades you wanted to for any different combination of future rookie picks for like 2023, 2024. You could do startup picks. So you could say like, I'll trade you the 101. You have to give me like your second round pick and your third round pick. And you keep your first round pick. You can do picks like that. I believe you can trade players that you've already drafted, but I've never actually tested that. The startup draft is so much more fun when there's trades made, because it's slow to, like, you'll get notifications when everybody makes a pick. So it's always fun to like come back to your phone after an hour and just scroll through, see what's going on. And when you're scrolling through, seeing like their trade went down, like that gives you kind of a feeling like, oh crap, like I should be making moves maybe. So just to shake things up, I think it's a fun wrinkle. So hopefully we have a few trades in this startup draft. The overall time that this will take is about 3 weeks, depending on how quick people are. It starts on a Friday. I would estimate we'll be through at least 5 or 6 rounds by Sunday if people are good about checking their phones and just kind of making a pick, not taking too long, making trades. Let's see. Oh yeah, kickers. So you'll notice in these lists that there aren't any rookies. That's because we agreed that more drafts are more fun. So to represent rookie picks in a separate rookie draft that we will have in week 3 of the preseason, I've included kickers in our roster. We will not be starting kickers during the week. This is just so that you can draft a specific rookie pick for our rookie draft. So say we're going through the draft and it's like, I don't know, round 7. No one's picked a kicker. No one's picked the rookie pick. You can draft a kicker, and then whoever drafts the first kicker gets the first overall rookie pick in the rookie draft. So we're going to do probably just a 3-round, 10 players per round rookie draft. So the first 30 kickers will just correspond to those first 30 picks. After the draft is over, after the startup draft is over, I'll go back and I'll create the rookie draft order. You can have multiple picks in the first round of a rookie draft. If you wanted to create like a super young team. Maybe you think I want to compete maybe in 2-3 years and have just an absolute juggernaut. I'm going to go super young. I'm going to try to get all the rookie picks I can. You could have, 10 plus rookie picks all in a row, even if you draft them that way. We'll go into a rookie draft lobby and I'll kind of show you how that'll work. But so that's why the kickers are in there. So first kicker picked is the first pick in the rookie draft. Second kicker picked is the second pick, etc., all the way through 30 kickers. Okay. So yeah, I think that's it for the startup draft. We'll go to a rookie draft and just kind of show you what that looks like. So this is another team, another league we have. Little under 5 weeks for the rookie draft. So this is the order based on last year's finish. See me at the end because I won the championship. Go figure. But you can see here that some of these picks have been traded. So you can trade picks up to 2 years from the season. So you can trade picks from 2023, 2024. So once we have our startup draft done, I'll create an arbitrary order based on like the first 10 picks. If say everybody has at least one pick in the first round, that'll be easy. But if I click on these picks, I can reassign the picks to another player. So we'll create the order and then I'll go back in and I'll make it match the way that the picks were drafted in the startup draft. It'll make sense once we have our board. And I've got that list there. The rookie draft will take place week 3 of the preseason. It'll be a slow draft. You can trade picks. I think it would be good to have, if you didn't get a chance to draft a rookie pick in the start draft, but maybe you have some regret, you want some, you can certainly make those offers and have those available for trade. And that's how most rookie drafts will go. Rookie picks are a currency that you can use to either win now or try to win down the road. One of the fun elements of Dynasty and why trading is the best. So the last thing that we'll go over is how waivers work. So this might be different than what some of you are used to. So we're doing what's called FAB. FAB is free agent dollars, essentially. So everybody has an amount of money, like $200, we'll say. And on days where there are waivers, you will make blind bids for players. When waivers roll through to the next day, whoever bids the most for that player gets that player, regardless of order. There's no rolling waiver order. There is, but it's only for tiebreakers, which is extremely unlikely. So we'll have probably $200, $400, $500. The amount doesn't matter. But it makes it so that like if you really want a player bad enough, you can blow your whole budget on them. Like that's just fine. But you won't have any money left for the rest of the season to outbid other managers. You can make bids with no money, but if anybody bids anything, they will obviously win that player. So it's kind of cool in the later weeks when a lot of people don't have very much money left. You can get some pretty good plug and play players for like $5, $1, sometimes no money even. But there is those once a year players like Elijah Mitchell last year. He ended up being a league winner. Like he was very valuable and you could have got him off waivers. He went undrafted in our rookie league and I blew like all my money for him and I got him and it was awesome. That's part of why I won the chip. Suck it, Aaron. Also, you can trade your free agent dollars. So you can use that to sweeten a deal. You can say, I want to trade you for X player. I'll give you my first round pick next year and I'll throw in like $100 fab dollars. You can totally do that as well. Trades, just want to facilitate more trades. The way this will work, I haven't set it yet. I can't because we haven't done our starting draft yet. But for the Thursday games, we won't have waivers. Once the clock, once the waivers from Wednesday roll into Friday and everything clears, then it becomes like you can add the player for free instantly. That's because in the past we've had games that are messed up by COVID. You get these sudden start sit decisions that have pretty can be pretty impactful to your weekly matchup. So I don't want anybody to complain that they weren't able to start a full team because half their roster got COVID. So this will let you put someone to your IR and then just snap pick someone up without fab dollars. It's just a first come first serve on Thursday and Sunday mornings. So from Saturday to Sunday, there still is a waiver, but once that waiver runs and all the people who've bid get their players, then it's a free for all. You can first come, first serve to the waiver, and you can add drop without using fab dollars. So that adds kind of some strategy to it. You might, as you run out of dollars, those free times become very advantageous to you. So it's a fun wrinkle. It's pretty intuitive. Once we have our rosters full, it'll make sense kind of how to use it. And we'll have a lot of fun just like trying to figure out how to manage it all. So that's pretty much it for the agenda I had. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this didn't create more questions than answers. If you do have questions, put them in the sleeper chat down here, text in the group chat, you can call me. I've pretty much always got my phone on me, so pretty fast to respond. But yeah, let me know. I'm pretty excited for the season to start, getting excited to meet the three of you that I haven't yet. Hopefully we can do a Zoom meeting during the draft, before the draft, but in case we can't, hopefully this helps. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Have a good weekend. See you soon.